Now that we understand the basics of cues covered in part 1, we can now shift our focus to cues in video games. When designing a game, one of the most important things to understand is how players rely on pattern recognition and symbolic cues to navigate and make decisions when they are playing. Players are constantly interpreting visual, audios, and gameplay signals, often subconsciously, making cues a very powerful tool for designers. Cues can help with reducing confusion or help players learn without being told directly what to do. Instead of relying on tutorials, the game actually communicates through its design. This makes the experience feel smoother and more immersive, and because players they feel like they are figuring things out on their own. Now let's take a look at some game examples, like
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it?
in Portal 2, players quickly learn that the white surfaces can hold portals, while the dark surfaces cannot. This is never directly explained to the players, but the visual language is so clear that they naturally understand it and apply it throughout the game. It also helps that the fact that the white surfaces are usually placed in obvious positions in the level that intuitively suggests where the portals should be used. It is a strong example of how players seize a simple visual cue and teach them complex mechanics without a single word of instruction. Besides visual cues, another great example of cues that games usually use comes through audio design, such as in Left 4 Dead 2.
All sons of bitches. That's my official instructions.
In this game, special infected enemies are introduced through distinct sound cues before the players even sees them. For instance, the hunter has a recognizable growl, and the witch is identified by her soft yet terrifying crying. These sounds immediately signal danger and tells player what kind of threat is nearby. Over time, players will then learn to react purely based on audio, preparing themselves even without visual confirmation. It also helps that these sound cues actually reinforces Left 4 Dead's core theme, which is player cooperation, as players will naturally group up and stay close together when they hear a dangerous audio cue. This shows how different types of cues benefit the players in multiple ways. First, they improve learning by letting the players understand the mechanics through visual and interaction instead of instructions. Second, they maintain immersion because the game doesn't need to pause and explain everything to the player. Third, they actually reinforce player intelligence. When the player recognizes a pattern and reacts correctly, they will feel a sense of mastery, acting almost like a reward for the player. However, we still need to make sure that the cues are balanced out carefully and effectively when we're designing a game. This is because if they are too obvious, the game can actually feel too easy or predictable, making the players feel bored about the game. But if they are also too subtle, players can actually become more confused, frustrated, or even miss the cue entirely. Good designs needs to find the middle ground where the cues are clear enough to guide but also allow players to think. In conclusion, incorporating cues into game design is essential because it matches how players naturally process information. By using pattern recognition and symbolism effectively, designers can create an experience that are intuitive, engaging, and satisfying, allowing players to learn and progress in a way that feels more natural in a game.